Hi, I'm your host Mystical Blue and welcome to another exciting episode from Marvelous Videos. Today I'll be taking you through Wonder Woman Dead Earth Explored. DC has produced some iconic superheroes over the years with various fascinating powers, but one amongst them is a god. Of course, we are talking about Diana Prince, aka Wonder Woman. She made her first appearance in All Stars Comics issue number 8 in 1941. Over the years, she has become one of the most recognisable characters produced by DC. She was also one of the founding members of the Justice League. Her story has been explored in numerous timelines, but today we will explore the Dead Earth mini-comic series created by Daniel Warren Johnson. In this story, Diana finds herself in a dystopian future and tries to grasp the change around her. So, without further ado, let's jump right into the video to know more. Before we go into our explanation, we have a very small request. If you like our content, please support us by subscribing to our channel. This is a small click for you, but for us, it means a lot. Thank you, let's begin. Diana navigates her way through a dystopian version of Earth. In the opening sequence, we see Queen Hippolyta explaining to little Diana how she was born. The Queen tells her to put her hands in the clay and explains that the clay from the Earth's core is the strongest material the planet has to offer, and it is what makes her up. She then proceeds to tell Diana that she breathed life into the clay frame to create her. The Queen tells her that she chose this place deep below the Earth's crust to make her strong so that no one could ever hurt her. Diana also learns that the planet will collapse one day, but she will not. Meanwhile, we come across a group of scavengers wandering the forest. One of the guys named Ed Dog tells his leader Dee that he is tired and that they should all go back. Dee tells Ed Dog that if they return empty-handed, Theoden will reduce their ration by half. But Ed Dog tells him that being hungry for a few days doesn't bother him, to which Dee replies that he has other people to take care of as well. One of the group members tells Dee that according to the maps, there is nothing in the forest left to scavenge. But Dee thinks that the maps are old and things might have changed. Jonesy tells Dee that he believes in him and will be there, which Dee appreciates. Then they see a giant shadow behind the trees and hide. The creature is Hydra. The group starts fleeing at the sight of the imposing creature, but Tal stumbles and falls down a cave while the rest hide. Ed Dog tries to fight the creature with his spear, allowing the rest of the group to take shelter in the cave. Ed Dog's face gets torn in the commotion. In the cave, Johnsy and Dee reunite with Tal, and just as they are about to sigh with relief, the Hydra breaks into the cave. They stumble further down into the cave, and just as they're about to accept their fate, they are saved by Diana, who knocks the creature down with a powerful blow. She can't figure out where she is, but the guys ask her who she is. Just as she introduces herself as Diana, the Hydra bites her arm and pins her to the ground. Jonesy stabs the creature with a knife to save Diana, but the creature slashes his gut. Diana immediately gets up, grapples the creature from the back and rips its throat with her bare arms. Following the creature's demise, she falls to her knees, wonders why she is so weak, and notices that she doesn't have her gauntlets. Meanwhile, Dee tries to comfort Jonesy, who has received severe injuries, and asks Diana if she can help him. Dee carries Jonesy outside the cave, but Diana realises that she knows the place, revealing that the cave is none other than the Batcave. She also comes across Bruce's dead body, still in his batsuit, the sight of which makes her cry. She is then dishevelled, looking at the landscape and wondering what happened to her beloved Earth. Once outside the cave, all of them sit beside a fire, and Diana asks what had happened, to which Dee replies that none of them is aware, and the ones who were are long gone. When Diana insists that they might know something, Dee tells her that they know that a massive war took place, and his grandparents also revealed that a giant ball of fire burnt the Earth and left it in its current form. Ed Dog tells Diana that they think their grandparents were referring to nuclear bombs. Diana then inquires about the creature that attacked them, and the guys tell her that it was Hydra and that they have lived in its shadows since they were born. Ed Dog then tells her that he is suspicious of her, as she could be from a different clan trying to infiltrate them, and asks her where she is from. Diana assures him that she is from the Earth before all of this took place, and she was the protector who was bestowed with responsibility to protect this planet. The group exclaimed with agony that she had failed. Diana returns to the Batcave and tries to figure out why she feels so weak. She has lost her ability to fly and a substantial amount of her strength. She grabs a few of Bruce's supplies and comes across her old costume before returning to the group and asking to join them. They start the journey back and come to their camp, which is called New Hope. Ed-Dog tries to attack Diana with a knife, but she grabs his arm only for Dee to sedate her. Tal tells them they shouldn't have done that since she had been kind to them and knew what happened before the war. Dee tells him that her kindness doesn't matter and also they cannot return empty-handed. They then proceed to present her before Theoden, who is pleased and tells them that he will make her his new wife. Theoden also offers them extra ration, but just as Tal is about to tell him her name, he slaps Tal. Before Theoden can inflict more damage, Diana wakes up and hits him, only to be knocked down by one of his accomplices. Theoden then asks his men to take her to the pits for her punishment. Next, we see Diana sitting with her mother, who tells her that she had found the secluded island of Themyscira to protect her from both men and the gods. Diana is also told by her mother never to leave, since the world of men cannot be trusted. Meanwhile, Diana is locked up in a cell, and Dee shows up to apologise. She forgives him and tells him that he reminds her of the first man she met. Just then, the guards arrive to take Diana to the pits. In the pit, which resembles an amphitheatre, Diana comes across another fighter she recognises as Barbara. But just as both of them fight in the pit, the camp comes under attack by a horde of Hydras. Meanwhile, in the pit, Barbara too recognises Diana. Diana asks her how she ended up in that state, to which she only asks Diana to look at what they have done to her. Barbara then tells her that they must keep fighting, otherwise they will hurt her and hit Diana. Outside the pit, all the guards assemble near the wall to ward off the creatures. The creatures by then have already infiltrated the city and have made their way into the pits, where they start attacking the spectators. Following that, the guards charge into the pit to fight the creatures. When they enter the pit, they find a berserk Diana killing the creatures, and the guards join the fight. Dee, who is also among the guards, gets attacked by one of the creatures, only to be saved by Diana, who inquires if he is alright. The guards alongside Diana successfully repel the creatures, and everyone thanks Diana for turning the tide. One of the guards asks her name, and before she can answer, Dee tells them that her name is Diana. In the backdrop, Theoden is being chased by Barbara and commands his guards to kill her, but Diana stops the guards from doing so. Instead, Diana intervenes herself, but Barbara asks her to move aside. Barbara then goes on to hit Diana when she doesn't move, as Diana remembers the words her mother had told her years ago, that the world of men cannot be trusted or loved. But Diana gently reminds her that even the worst of them deserve their grace. After that, Barbara calms down and falls before Diana. The crowd starts chanting Diana's name, to which she tells them that she wants to help them only if they let her. She asks the guards to escort Theoden to the same cell she was kept after gaining the crowd's approval. She offers help to Barbara as well, but she refuses and flees. Dee goes on to ask Diana what she has in mind, to which she tells him that she wants humanity to thrive, and for that, she will take them to her native island, Themyscira. Leading the tribe of humans. We find Diana going down her memory lane all over again, this time training with Nubia. She keeps attacking little Diana relentlessly without giving her a break, emphasizing that her enemies would do the same. Diana ends up kicking Nubia in the face before, but the impact of her landing causes the cliff on which they were training to collapse. Diana is just about to fall down when Nubia grabs her hand. Diana apologizes and tells her that she didn't mean to do it. Later, Nubia has a conversation with Queen Hippolyta and tells her that Diana can't control her powers, especially when she is pushed emotionally. The Queen reveals that she created her that way and reminded her of the party she had thrown for the gods, where she collected the blood of each god once they were asleep after being intoxicated. She later used this blood to create Diana. After learning about this, Nubia exclaims that Diana isn't just too dangerous for the world, but also for herself as well. The Queen dismisses it by saying she did it so that no one could hurt her. Then, in the present, we see Diana visiting Theoden in his cell. Theoden is disgusted to see her, but she reveals that she would appreciate his help with moving to Themyscira. Dee questions her decision, asking her if she is sure, since Theoden might stab her in the back at an opportune moment. Diana tells him that Theoden has led their tribe in the past and could be of great help, but she would always keep an eye on him. Theoden initially refuses to help, but later reveals that there is a grain silo with cars and gasoline that might help them move the people. Once they go out, they are approached by Eddog, who tells them that Tal has something to show them. Tal shows them a boat he has built, since Themyscira is an island. Although Diana appreciates his efforts, she tells him they would need a lot more transport since they have many people. Tal has also taken an inventory of Diana's belt and inquired where she found it, revealing that it belonged to an old friend. They start the perilous journey to her island, and Diana notices Theoden looking at her. She asks him what it is, to which he inquires if she knows what she is doing. Diana answers that she hoped she did. Sitting beside a fire, Diana remembers the time Nubia presented her with the gauntlets to help her check her power, but Eddog pointed her towards the enormous Hydra behind the camp. Diana and the entire camp are unsure if they can defeat the enormous beast, but they charge toward the Hydra under her command. They take heavy casualties, and Diana asks her men to hold their positions for 1 minute. Diana takes a car and rams it on the beast before emptying a gasoline can and setting it on fire. The beast falls to its death, and Dee inquires if Diana is alright. Upon close inspection of the fallen beast, Tal notices that its skeletal structure and organ closely resemble a human, albeit of a gargantuan proportions. They arrive at the lighthouse, where Diana must leave them for a short while. She leaves Eddog in charge of the people, who remind her that they only have supplies that would last them just a few days. On their way, Dee and Tal doubt if they are moving in the right direction. Diana tells them that she will know when they are close to their destination. Once at the shore of Themyscira, Diana notices that there is something wrong. The place seems to be in ruins. Sensing the danger, Diana decides to go in all by herself, despite Dee's pleas to accompany her. Once inside, she finds Nubia, who points her towards the catacomb. Back at the shore, Dee grows impatient and decides to go look for Diana, despite Tal warning him not to and to follow Diana's instructions. Inside the catacombs, Diana finds her mother, and when she embraces her, she realizes that something is wrong and that her mother has also turned into a Hydra. She grabs Diana's head and takes her under her spell, telling her that the humans she loves so much had bombed them countless times, and the resulting radiation caused them to mutate. She also tells her that she is the one who sends the creatures after the humans to punish them for their deeds. Hippolyta tells Diana that even though she has killed many Amazons, she is glad to have her back. Then Dee shows up and chops off both her hands, breaking her spell on Diana. Meanwhile, Tal comes running towards them, being chased by Nubia. Diana tries to stop her but gets thrown away, making Hippolyta question why she fights for the humans even after everything they have done. To help her weak Diana, Tal pulls out a grenade from her belt and throws it toward Nubia. Then Tal and Dee help Diana to walk toward the boat, but just as they are about to reach the boat, Tal gets stabbed by Nubia, who is about to attack Diana. It is then that Barbara shows up on Pegasus to defend Diana. They somehow manage to escape Nubia's wrath, with Pegasus carrying them away. Once they are safe, Barbara is about to leave after claiming that she isn't welcomed in the human tribe. Dee tries to help Diana get up, but she refuses to go back after claiming that the humans cannot be trusted and that she has been killing her sisters all this while. Diana leaves with Barbara after abandoning Dee and the tribe, despite repeated pleas from Dee to stop, since they only had enough ration for 3 days. The sins of Diana's past. Diana and Barbara sit beside a fire when Diana inquires if she remembers anything about the war and the reason why humans dropped a bomb on them. Barbara tells her that she remembers what happened before the war, but not what happened during the war. Barbara also tells her that the sea levels were rising due to the humans' constant exploitation of the planet. When Diana asks what her role was in the war, Barbara says she was a part of the peace delegation trying to convince humanity to change their ways. But it failed, since humans don't like being dictated. The humans decided to take care of the Amazons by dropping bombs on them, but most of them were deflected by the island's defences, causing the Great Fire that burnt the earth. Barbara was abducted by the humans, who tortured her and experimented on her. Diana states that she knew humanity was scared but couldn't gauge how destructive the fear could be. Diana also asks Barbara why she came back for her, to which she says that she knows the humans can't be trusted, so she wants to look out for her. Barbara also tells her that she believes in Diana to make things right. Diana exclaims that it is impossible, since she cannot choose humanity, nor can she choose to be by her mother's side. Diana wonders how Pegasus didn't mutate like the rest of the Themyscira, but was only scarred. Barbara doesn't have an answer to that, but she tells her that with Pegasus by her side, they can fly anywhere they want to. Meanwhile, the Queen instructs a giant Hydra to find Diana after spewing out her hatred for humans, who were the reason behind their mutation. She asks Nubia to find their strongest Amazon sister and goes along with her. In the human tribe, Edog tries to calm the people down when they grow impatient for Diana's return. Dee looks at the whole commotion through the window when Theoden asks him why he returned without Diana. Dee tells him that despite her numerous promises, she chose to abandon them. He tells Theoden that she flew away with Barbara, to which Theoden shows him the tracking device he found on her belt, which says that she is somewhere in the north. It is then that Dee pulls out the lasso of truth that he found on Themyscira and wraps it around Theoden's arms to know his motive. It turns out that even though Theoden despised her initially, he realized her presence was crucial for their survival. Meanwhile, Diana and Barbara discuss what happened to all the heroes of their time when Barbara tells her that most of them were dead and some of them moved to other worlds where they were appreciated. She also asks Barbara about Superman, but she says that he never came out despite repeated pleas from everyone. They land on Superman's doorstep, but Diana struggles to lift the door key since she has been weak ever since she woke up. They somehow manage to open the door to find a cyborg in the Superman costume waiting to greet them. When Diana inquires if it's Clark, the figure replies it's only a part of him. Diana asks what happened, to which the figure replies that Diana had killed Superman herself. He said that the war was coming to an end with the Amazons on the victorious side. Superman was fighting for the humans when they launched another set of missiles. He broke into the control room from where it was launched, shocked and saddened by their reaction. In order to protect Themyscira, the Queen removed Diana's gauntlet so that she could unlock all of her strength. Diana leaps towards the incoming missiles in order to defend her island, destroying all of them. Superman approaches Diana after that to apologize on behalf of humanity, but gets viciously attacked by her. Despite his initial stance of not fighting Diana, Superman hits back when Diana doesn't stop attacking him. It is revealed here that the Great Ball of Fire was nothing but the fight that took place between Superman and Wonder Woman. Later, she killed Superman with kryptonite. After this, Diana is rendered unconscious, but wakes up a few hours later and apologizes to the cyborg, who says it means nothing to him since he isn't Clark, but just a part of him. He reveals that Bruce had summoned him in case Diana ever showed up. Then Dee shows up, wraps the lasso around Diana, and asks her who she is and why she abandoned them. Diana tells him that she is a god, and it was her who was the Great Ball of Fire that destroyed this planet. She also confesses that she wasn't aware that she would have lost control in such a way, and reveals that even gods can be broken. She also reveals that she loved him, but Dee is about to leave when he learns that she destroyed the planet. It is then that Dee is approached by the cyborg, who hands him a box. Then all of them walk towards a room the cyborg showed them with weapons and supplies collected over time. Diana claims it isn't enough to tackle the problem and apologizes to Superman one last time before ripping his spine out to use it as a weapon. Diana's redemption. In the past, we see Bruce talking to an unconscious Diana locked in a cryogenic chamber that he wants to kill her for what she has done, but would save her, knowing she is the only one who can fix it. In the present, Eddog and Theoden are preparing their men to take on the Hydras when Theoden shows him the weapons supply. Eddog asks Theoden if Diana is going to come back, to which he says she will, and he plans on being alive when she does. Back at Superman's abode, they are preparing to return when Diana reveals that it is her mother who is controlling the Amazons, and to save the planet, they need to stop her first. Barbara asks if Diana is ready to do what it takes to stop her, and Diana agrees. Back at the camp, Eddog and Theoden have positioned their men to brace for the attack of the Hydras. They spot the horde of Hydras and shoot them once they are in close proximity. The Queen orders Nubia to attack as well, and the fight begins. It is then that Diana shows up with Dee, Barbara, and the cyborg to join the battle, making Theoden exclaim in joy. Diana asks the men to concentrate their fire on the biggest Hydra. Dee and Barbara were just above the Hydra and were about to take it down when Nubia attacked them and took down their craft. Nubia was about to charge at the both of them when she was distracted by Theoden, but she killed him. The cyborg takes on Nubia, but tells her that he doesn't wish to fight them. Instead, if they stop fighting, they can find a cure for their mutation, but he gets attacked by the giant Hydra. Diana notices her mother on the battlefield and is about to attack her when she gets stopped by Nubia. Diana asks Nubia if there are any remnants of her old self, to which Nubia says no and slams her to the ground. Nubia picks up an unconscious Diana. Dee notices that Diana is down and asks Eddog to clear the path for him, to which he agrees. We then get to know what the box presented to Dee by the cyborg contained. It contained Diana's strength, and the cyborg gave it to Dee since it was his kind that was affected by Diana, and it was for him to choose if she deserved it back. After learning that, Dee runs towards Diana to unlock the box and her true power. He is attacked by a Hydra but gets saved by Eddog. He stabs Diana with the syringe that is inside the box to unlock her powers, but he receives a heavy blow at the hands of Nubia. Diana thanks Dee for restoring her power, but he tells her he has no other choice. After regaining her powers, Diana confronts her mother and tells her that she doesn't want to hurt her sisters anymore and asks her mother to call them back. The Queen gets furious at Diana for helping the humans, who are the reason behind their mutation and misery. She leaves Diana with two choices: to save the humans and kill her sisters, or to step aside for her sisters to kill the humans once and for all. Diana chooses to save the humans and uses the new weapon that she made with Superman's skull and spine to annihilate all the Hydras. After slaying Nubia with the same weapon, she confronts her mother and tells her that both of them are victims of the atrocities committed by the humans, but reminds her that she always had a choice. She insists her mother look at the positive aspects of humans, to which she asks her to look at what the humans have done to her and that she has nothing left. Diana gently reminds her that she has her when the Queen retreats back to the sea. After that, they bury the fallen. Dee wakes up a few days later and Eddog tells him that they are in Themyscira. He tells Dee that it took some time for Diana to deliver her promises, but she did. Dee asks how long he has been unconscious, to which his sister replies that he has been in that state for more than a week, and Diana comes down to check on him every day. Then Dee finds Diana sitting on a chair across the room. He inquires about the gauntlet on her wrist, and Diana explains it keeps her in control. He asks her about the other gauntlet for Diana to assure him that she will put it on the moment she finds it. Dee tells her he will have a hard time trusting her and asks her not to let them down again. Diana tells him that she has no control over his trust, but she promises to try to win back the trust and asks for his help to restore the planet from its decaying state. Marvelous verdict. Wonder Woman, who has always been the protector of humankind, finds herself in a difficult situation. She cannot figure out which side she must take and face the grim reality that she caused the destruction that led to the planet's decay. But in the end, she manages to figure out what is right and deliver justice in a fashion only she is capable of. If you enjoyed this video, please like the video, and for more exciting videos on Wonder Woman and many more fascinating superheroes, please subscribe to our channel. Have a good one and be safe. Thanks everyone.